everybody, what's going on? It's me, Captain Vibes. Today's be live action. You already know what it is. Finally here to get this out the way. That's right, Bleach chapter 652 and 3. Bring it to you all in one review. Of course, I've been keeping an eye on my fan page and of course my YouTube page. Want to thank you all for all the concerns and worries, everything. Of course, everything is still good and copacetic. And yes, I enjoyed my holiday. How about yours? What did you do? And the number one question people were asking me was, people were asking me, what did I eat? You know, we all know how my diet is. So people were asking, what did I eat? What did I eat? But trust me, I ate good. Man, so with my last review of Bleach, I was saying that it should just be called questions. So many questions. Every time a question is answered, more questions are revealed. It seemed like throughout Bleach, questions just will never get answered. I'm pretty sure, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure when Bleach ends, there will still be a few questions that probably will go on to be unanswered. And I will make a video about it. But in this case, this chapter, Bleach chapter 652, yes, questions got answered. I was glad about that. I said yes. And we see it was a mixture of flashbacks and combat between Nile and Lyle. Of course, the flashbacks when she was little, up to when she was in the academy, everything. And I like the explanations that were given, especially with the Zanpakuto thing. Of course, she couldn't make a Zanpakuto. She couldn't put her imprint on the Asachi. She couldn't do it, so that's when she recommended to be part of Kido Corps because she was really good in Kido. She specializes in that. But of course, what was the point? I still gotta take it back. So now I'm gonna bring up this color spread again. You know, I've read a comment. Someone was just saying along the lines of it's just a color spread. You know, it didn't mean anything. Don't take it into consideration. But the thing is, you see every lieutenant with their canon respected Zanpakutos. You know, and we see the Nile pulling one out of her kimono sleeve. But yet, so what is that? It's just a regular dagger? She's dead. Whatever. But this chapter explains why she doesn't have a Zanpakuto. And I thought this was very interesting. You know, this really solidifies the fact that just because you're a Soul Reaper does not mean you can have a Zanpakuto, that you can put your imprint on the Asachi. I thought that was very interesting. And it really solidifies it. So, also, prior to that, you see her when she was little, eavesdropping on Shunsui and, of course, her mother. This is when she was entrusting him with the sword, with the Zanpakuto. And she kept referring to him as this man. And I guess she was never really properly introduced to him as her uncle. Because she kept saying this man, because she had recognized him with the kimono, then with the pins, then without the pins, when she seen him in the academy. And I do like the one part in the chapter when they showed the list of Shinigami that are getting assigned to the squads, and you see they're saying, oh, Aizen is so dreamy, and it's just all things like that. I did like that. But she was, of course, somehow assigned to Squad A. We all know why that happened. And the whole thing with this chapter, it really, not only did it tie together some loose ends, keep in mind some loose ends, but it shed more light on Nanao's character. But it seems, if someone wants to call this character development, why does it have to happen in the last arc? You know, and I'm pretty sure she will not get no more character development after this. Even if after the series there will be another time skip, we'll just see an upgrade in her looks and not her personality. But I guess some character development is better than no character development at all. But can character development really happen by just showing flashbacks? Could the character development have already happened? Like the way she is now, she's the way she is now because of her past. The past made her who she is. But in this case, she still gets a sense of how it is to fight. Because this is the first time we've seen her, like, seriously, really have a real fight. And then we touch on this part of the chapter with the Zanpakuto, because during the chapter, you go flashback, mid-fight flashback, things like that. So when she was fighting Lyle, Starlight X, you know, he noticed the Zanpakuto was very bright. It's basically reflecting his power, like just a representation of what she's looking at. You know, this is so bright, he's blinding, and she actually goes to strike him. And the funny thing is, we all know it does not have a blade, but yet she uses like a regular Zanpakuto. She strikes him, and his arm actually gets cut off, you know, his hand. And you see his hand turns into particles and it separates, you know, all these just particles, just spirit particles everywhere. And upon her hitting the ground, of course, that's when she was damaged by the separation of his hand. And she was bleeding from that, and she was thinking like, damn, I actually get cut by that, this actually hurts, is this how it is to really be in a battle? And of course, Shunsui comes to help her again. You know, starting at X, he finally said, oh, here you are. He basically just belittles Shunsui for this. But on to the next chapter. No. Before I get to that next chapter, the way I felt about 652, it was cool. I was looking forward to having an answer regarding of who Zanpakuto that was. We all know it is an artifact, a relic in her family, but who Zanpakuto is that? And I wonder, what does just drew a blank. The guy in charge of Zanpakuto is a Royal Guard member. Oetsu, yeah, what does Oetsu feel about this? This is a Zanpakuto strictly made for repelling god-like enemies or gods. You know, this seems more effective than his Zanpakuto. We get his Zanpakuto is so sharp he can't even be inside of a sheath. You know, or how is this compared to old man Yama Zanpakuto? But I think these are one of the things we would never find out in Bleach. Unless it may be in a data book. If not in the data book, we would never ever find out. I mean, who was this person and how old were they? Was it a male or female? How did they die? I mean, we never know. That's why I'm not even going to dwell on it. But I thought the chapter had good pacing, even though it was divided. But it did answer a lot of questions. Not all questions, it did answer a lot of questions, because that was my biggest concern in the chapter prior to that. Now on the Bleach chapter 653, this chapter felt so fast. And it left me feeling like, wait, huh? Like, I guess if I see this animated for the first time, it'll you know, fit well. But and what I'm talking about is the end of the chapter. You know, he summons this trumpet, and this makes sense as well, because the Bible speaks on this also, the trumpets and the angels. Also, if any of you are familiar with Bayonetta, you know she fights angels in part 1 and 2, but mainly in part 1. And the thing is, with the angels on Bayonetta, they're named after, like, you know, holy names like righteousness and forgiveness, you know, things like that. And there are some enemies angelic enemies who actually have a trumpet, and they shoot energy from the trumpet. I think like energy spheres, and you can pick it up as a weapon. So when I seen them blowing a trumpet, I thought about the Bible, and I thought about Bayonetta. So we see that whole attack gets deflected. It gets deflected, and it just takes him out. But it just didn't, how can I put this in words? I didn't feel that impact. I guess the way it was drawn, I mean, the next panel, it just showed half his body missing. He's just like what the hell? And then he's just talking regularly, like, oh, how could this be? Oh, that's right. You know, you did speak along the lines that it could repel the attacks of God. So I guess, you know, this is my fate. So be it. And he just disintegrates. That's the end of the chapter. I was expecting more of an epic, impactful death. You know, I don't know, maybe, like I said, if it was animated, it would have that bigger impact. Or maybe throughout Bleach or other anime series, you're used to villains shouting or giving that fight. The way Aizen was when he was getting sealed up. Things like that. You know, with X-Axis, with him getting, while he was just slowly disintegrating. Or this is what it is. While it was being reflected, I was expecting it to be like, you know, oh, well, like it's coming, the attack is coming back towards him, a big panel of his face looking shocked, him screaming, saying, no, how could this be? He's trying to fight off, he's just slowly getting disintegrated, screaming and hollering, cursing both of them. None of that. At all. He was just chill with it. I mean, I guess it's like one of them things where you get cut in half through the torso, so like Hiyori did. She should have stayed dead. I'm sorry, you got cut in half horizontally. through the torso. I guess it's one of those things where when you get cut, hell, you literally got what, maybe 2-3 seconds to say whatever you're gonna say. Just, oh, I ain't this about a bitch, and then you just die, something like that. But he's gone. But to be honest, I'm glad this fight is over. 7 theater suicides. 7. I'm glad it's over. This was a deeper connection between Nanao and Shunsui. It seemed like they got everything out of the bag. We got more things explained about them. Shunsui, he was feeling this heavy burden. He felt like everything that was entrusted to him, everything that was entrusted to him by people that end up dying. You know, he got the hairpins from his sister-in-law, one from his sister-in-law, one from his brother. Then, of course, the artifact from the sister-in-law. We got to see a little bit interaction between Shunsui's brother and Nanao's mother, things of that nature. Why she only gave him 1 hairpin. And then we basically all come together, why the kimono, the hairpins, everything. We got to see the complete understanding and background and feeling of Shunsui and Nanao, which I thought was pretty cool. But Bleach chapter 653, it just felt so fast and rushed. But at the same time, I'm glad this battle is over. It is over, it is over, it is over. To think X-Axis will lose to Nanao. But you know, I'm never going to look at it like that. And I hope people will never say, oh man, the X-Axis, one of Juha's elite guards, the one who received, drank blood from him. Well, he was the last one to receive powers. No, he was, yeah. He was the last one to receive powers from Juha from drinking the blood. I hope people don't downplay him because he lost to Nanao. No. I'm going to just say he lost to that Zanpakuto. He didn't lose to Nanao. This is not even Nanao Zanpakuto, things of that nature. I don't even know if she would ever be able to achieve Bunkai with that Zanpakuto, because if she was never able to put an imprint on Yasuchi, how could she even do it to mold or have an understanding with this Zanpakuto? But apparently, since she's part of that family, that Zanpakuto, that spirit, whatever, has an understanding or connection with her. Who knows? Whatever. But this is a big learning lesson for Nanao, and a big clear up between Nanao and Shunsui, which I did like. But now that that's out the way, I want next chapter. I want the next chapter 654 to go back to Start I Am or Grimjaw, please, or Hashwoth, or hell Uryu, or Ryukin, or freaking Ishin, something. But I'm just glad this is over. Again, sorry about the wait. Give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. It's me, Captain Visor Ace. I'm signing out. I just got to end it quick like this. I mean, damn, just for him to die just like that. I don't understand it.